Guys, welcome back to World Illuminate 11 on this 13th day of our series, Unleash Your Authentic Divine Feminine Self. And 13 is a lucky number, so it's going to be a good day today. Set the intention and choose to feel good today and be grateful for this beautiful day. The sun is shining here in London. It's cold, but the sun is shining, so much to be grateful for. And just get into this day feeling good in yourself, setting the intention to have a good and productive and happy day, that is full of blessings and magic and miracles. So, if you are new to the series, then a really warm welcome to you. You can check out the last few videos that I've done. They're all in the playlist section. And we are going to jump in today to see what messages are coming through from the angels. We're using the Oracle of the Mermaids. The deck is getting smaller. There we go. And then also the Divine Feminine Oracle. Thank you, angels. Wow, straight out there. Okay, so the cards that came out, well, from the Oracle of the Mermaids is Farewell to the Moon. And it says, appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles. So this is really powerful. And, this is about connecting with the moon, the power of the moon. And it just actually reminded me as I saw this sort of big moon that is behind there. When I was a child, I grew up in Zimbabwe. And we used to see the moon, and it was always like really, really big. Obviously, at the time, I didn't understand anything about the moon, and I still didn't up until I sort of started my spiritual journey 2 years ago. But I always used to look at it. It just came into my mind just now. I always used to look at it, and I used to think that it used to look like there was a rabbit inside, and it used to really attract my attention all the time. And I used to wonder how that rabbit got in there. So there was obviously sort of like a pull to the moon as well for me, even as a child, even when I didn't know anything. It always fascinated me. And it just suddenly came to mind, sometimes you just remember these things. So, but we all have this powerful connection to the moon. It affects all of us. And it's something that a lot of people don't really get to know about. And but it's so powerful to get to know the moon, get to work with the cycles of the moon as well, because when it comes to like the full moon, which we had the wolf moon, and that was the full moon, and it was all about release, and it was such a powerful full moon. I actually shared as well a little picture of that, but the photos doesn't do it justice, but it was such a powerful full moon. It literally lit up the room in the dark, and when I got up during the night, I could just see so much light as well coming through. So it was a powerful full moon, and the full moon is always about the time of release and letting go of the things that no longer serve you, helping you to be able to then open up the space so that by the time you get to the new moon, you are able to set your intentions. You've cleared the space of the anger, of the fears, of the things, the negative emotions, the things that have been holding you back, so that you've now cleared that space to be able to set your intentions for the positive things, the things that you truly desire in your life. So it's a great thing to get to know the cycles of the moon. And I found it really fascinating as well when since I started my spiritual journey, and to sort of work with the moon, to do some rituals as well when it comes to, like the full moon, the new moon, because I just find so much power with it as well. And, and I just feel that connection as well to the moon. And there's so much that you can do. This is something that you can look up for yourself so that you can appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles. You can feel that connection to the moon because the moon is there, and it affects all of us. You know how it affects like the sea and the water, and it affects all of us in all sorts of different ways. When it's the full moon, your emotions can come up, emotions can come up for you to release those. So it is definitely there to help us as well on our own life journey. So it's a really important thing, I find personally, to get to know the power of the moon, and to get to work with the cycles of the moon as well. And it's also sort of really considered like a feminine energy, and that you can connect to that as well as a divine feminine, and that helps you to get to know your true self as well. And the other thing as well is that at the time that you were born, the moon was sort of in a particular place, and it's about getting to know what your moon cycle is as well, because that also tells you a lot about who you are. So this is something that you can do for yourself. Before I talked about looking at your birth chart, just to try and get to understand what sign you are, and all this. So you can do that with the moon as well. And I know that my moon was in Cancer when I was born. I'm a Taurus, which is earth. However, my moon is Cancer. So, that explains the reason why I've always been quite emotional, and my emotions, I really connected to my emotions as well. And that's about being connected to the water. So we all have all these different elements within us, and we also have the moon within our cycle. So it's a really good, or our chart, within our chart. So it's a really good thing for you to do, to look and find out what the moon, where the moon was when you were born, because it really helps you as well to get to know your true self. That is what we are doing here on this series, to get to find out as much as you can, that helps you to be able to connect more with your true self. As in my case, knowing that my moon was in Cancer has really helped to explain a lot, and helps me to understand myself even more. So that's the message that's really coming through here. It's about appreciating the moon, because it is there to help us in so many different ways, and enjoy the power that comes from the moon. Enjoy how you can really connect to it as well. And it actually helps you with bringing in the things that you desire. With the new moon, it's all about setting the intentions of what you truly would like for your life. And you can work with those cycles. This is something that you can find out, online, and really get to know, what to, and there's so many other, parts of the moon that I'm not really, is sort of, I don't really know about, because I've never really had the time to really study it all. But there's so much that you can learn. There's all sorts of different sort of cycles that happen with the moon, in between sort of the full moon and the new moon. So there's so much that you can learn, and you can actually really enjoy to work with the moon, to bring in the things that you desire. So really powerful that this is coming. And for the twin flame journey as well, the moon is really powerful, because it brings in the time of release, which helps the divine masculines and the divine feminines to release what they need to release, so that they can be able to move forward on their path. And it also brings in that power as well, because it affects us all. So, really powerful to get to know the moon, and to work with it as well. And then the next card that came out is Diana, and it says Queen of the Wilderness. So really powerful. You can see that powerful Diana standing there, and it says the language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. So really powerful. We're talking about the moon, and this card that came out is about the language of the natural world. And that is what the moon is. It's part of the natural world, and it's all the frequency of love. The moon comes in to help us to release what we need to release, the negative emotions that we need to release with the full moon, for example. And that is love, to help us so that we can be able to move forward towards becoming the greatest version of ourselves, to move forward towards more positivity. It then comes in with the new moon to help us to set our intentions, and help us to bring in the things that we truly desire. And that is all about that love of the natural world. So really powerful. This is also about connecting with nature, going out in nature. And that is such an important part of our spiritual, when you are on your spiritual journey, to go out in nature, because that is where you feel that connection to source even more. You feel that connection to the angels much stronger. You feel connection to the fairies, the nature fairies as well. There is so much power in nature. And I had never realized, actually, before. I always knew I liked going out, but, outside, but I never did it as much, because my life was a totally different life before my spiritual path. And I didn't spend that time in nature, but in the last couple of years I've just found this connection to nature. And I am an earth sign anyway. I'm Taurus, and that's about being sort of out in nature, being grounded here on earth. So there is such a huge connection with nature, and I've just found so much joy of being in nature. And and right now, one of the things that I truly would love to do is to move somewhere that is more outside and just more in around nature, and just be able to live there and connect more with nature and just feel that power that comes through from nature. And you feel all that love. When I go out and the squirrels run towards me, it's like connecting with those squirrels and the birds and whatever it is, and I just feel that power and the love that truly comes from nature. So it's really important as well for us to be able to go out in nature. It helps you as a divine feminine with your connection to source as well, and to really be able to renew your divine feminine power. So it's about going out in nature, taking time out in nature, really connecting as well. And this is my mother tongue. So that's your mother tongue, which is that frequency of love, because you are a divine being of love. So the more you go out in nature and really feel that power of nature, connect with the moon as well, the more you are really sort of being in tune with that frequency of love. That is what you truly are. So it's about you really connecting with nature. That's the big message that's coming through today. It's about you going out in nature and really connecting with nature, and that is going to help you as well to connect more with your true self. It will help you to unleash the truth of who you are, because you are that divine being of love, and nature is only about that frequency of love. So the more you're connecting with nature, the more you're connecting more to your true self, to that frequency of love. Because when you're out in nature, all you just feel is that love, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So it helps you to connect more to your true self. So, and it helps you to unleash your authentic self as well. So that's the message that's coming through today. It's all about going out in nature and connecting with nature, and connecting with the power and of the and cycles of the moon as well. I hope you have a great day, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Love, peace, positivity, and light.